Hey y'all, I'm Elisa and I am the Scrappy Wife behind scrappywife.com, and today I have a traveler's notebook process video for you. I am working in an A5 size journal and this is documenting my memories in the month of April. And today I'm going to work on documenting this sweet photo I took of my husband and I one Friday afternoon. Every time we get to Friday during this crazy quarantine period, it feels like a huge success. So we were both, I think, just feeling thankful for the end of the week, but I thought I would make a pretty simple entry, so I don't think that this is going to take too long, but I will put you all on fast forward. I will link all the products below. Otherwise, let's go. Okay, I knew from the beginning I wanted to trim out this picture, and then I'm going to work with layers in this particular entry. I have several pieces of kind of odd shaped scrap paper you can see here left over in that Grace kit that I wanted to use up and just kind of coordinate and use some of the colors that are in the stars on the left side of the page and incorporate those into the right side of the page. So I'm going to trim out a few pieces. I'm trying to figure out how wonky I want all of the layering to be in the back, whether it should be lined up or kind of tilted to the side. So I'm messing with that a little bit. I start with this beautiful coral color, and then I'm going to bring in green. And these are definitely two colors that I would not have normally put together, but that's what I like about these scrapbook kits, and really any kit that you get, not just Felicity Jane, but if you order from like Hip Kit Clubs, or I'm not sure what some of the other ones are, but they kind of can push you out of your comfort zone a little bit because all of these colors are meant to coordinate together. That's why they're in the same kit. And so it's fun to kind of play with and push yourself out of that comfort zone. The other technique I really like to use when I layer is the tearing technique. And what I really enjoy about this Felicity Jane paper is that it does have this white core to it. So you get that beautiful white torn edge when you rip it, which really makes for some interesting texture on your pages. Here you can see I've sort of settled on kind of a waterfall effect over there on the right with everything kind of leaning off to the side. And now I'm going to look at the left side, and I'm picking up some of the journaling cards, going through them. I decide on bringing in this pop of pink. I don't know, it's maybe like a carnation pink. It's just kind of a different color. It's not bright pink, but it does have a good rich tone to it. And then I'll pull in some of the patterns that I'm using on the other sheet, again tearing the paper to create that textured effect. There's obviously already a lot of pattern going over on the left side, so I'm just having little bits of these layers kind of peek out just to bring those same patterns in. I'll use this coral piece as my tag, so you can see I'm just going to trim it out right here. I'll kind of cut down the edges. I could have used a tag die, but I just did it by hand, and then I actually end up trimming it down a bit smaller later to make sure it fits in the pocket. Now you can see I'm going to go super fast and just adhere down everything that I have so far. I'd considered doing some mixed media behind this, but then I thought I just wanted to keep it pretty simple. So I'm putting everything down. I actually have to readjust things a couple of times. And then right in the middle of doing the adhesive, my ATG gun actually ran out. So I had to switch to my Tombow tape runner, but that's why us crafters always have extra adhesive on hand whenever I'm running low. Like when I load up my last Tombow, I start to panic, and I usually have extra. I just am always scared to run out of adhesive. I feel like that's like a crafter's worst nightmare. So I've pulled out some old Felicity Jane stamp sets. I believe this one is maybe from the Megan stamp set, and it says a day to remember, and I knew ahead of time I was going to cross off the word day and put spring, but when I put it down on that journaling card, it smeared, which happens to me a lot, but don't panic. I just pulled out another piece of paper, scrap paper, and you can see I cross off the word day, and I'm going to handwrite in the word spring for a spring to remember, and I kind of like that handmade look to it. And I will just trim out this little cutout and then put it over my little oops on the left side. It'll be like it never happened, and it's another pop of that coral on that page. And then when I had trimmed it out, on the back of this coral kind of plaid paper is this cool black and white pattern, and I had these tiny little scraps, and I thought, well, let me go ahead and incorporate those because I always like putting black and white on my layout. So I'll add it here right at the bottom as a little border, and then I take the other piece and I'll add it here on the right side of the spread just to, again, bring the two pages together. actually end up having a lot of fun doing stamping for this layout. This is from the Bailey stamp set, and it's a stamp that says "This Life with You," which is just perfect for the celebration picture of making it through yet another week of quarantine with 3 kids at home and navigating jobs and homeschooling and just all of the things. So I add that down there, and then I'm going to add in the words "I love." So it will say "I love this life with you." And this is one of the first times I'm getting to use this alpha sticker that came with the Grace set. It's the Seafoam Green, and it's beautiful, but I had a little bit of trouble with the sizing this month on that larger alpha sticker, so I just had a bunch of them left. So I'll have to look for some more opportunities to use it as I go. Again, reaching for scraps here, I have these 3 pieces that I load onto my silhouette mat, and I cut out stars because there were stars over there on the left side. I did not have any more star ephemera pieces, and so I just made my own. And I will use these kind of diagonally down the page. You can see I start with the seafoam ones, kind of working in a loose flow from the top left to the bottom right, just adding a little bit more detailing and interest. It brings in those same patterns that I've been incorporating, so I feel like because it's the same patterns that we've seen before, it doesn't look too busy, which I really like. And if you've been watching super closely, yes, this is adhesive number 3, all on one spread. I don't know what my deal was today. I was just grabbing for all the adhesives. I used liquid in this case because there were some tiny pieces, and liquid adhesive is a little bit more forgiving. So I figured I could make some last minute changes, and I don't know, I just went with liquid for this one. So yes, 3 different adhesives. You guys will have to let me know what your go-to adhesive is. I don't know, kind of float around. I really like the Tombow Tape Runner, but they are very expensive. So I switched to the ATG glider gun, which I've really enjoyed, but it's harder for smaller pieces. So I kind of go all back and forth. All right, time for some more stamping. I love these clear acrylic stamps because you can kind of audition them on your page, if that makes sense. So I have one over there to the left that I know I'm going to want to add, and it says, if I can read it really close, "You are my person." And I just kind of had it sitting there over on the left, knowing I wanted it there, just auditioning its placement. And I decide, before I make another stamping mistake, let me just go ahead and create my own ephemera pieces. So I have this blocky one that says "Lovely Little Moments" that I will include over here on the right. The black is a little bit intense, but I'll end up balancing it out later with some stickers. And then I love the phrase "You are my person," because that is totally how I feel. I would never want to be quarantined with anyone else except my husband. So I feel like we just really get each other. So adding a few of these puffy stickers in here. I love, love, love the feel of Felicity Jane puffy stickers. I think they are so fun. They do add some bulk in my journaling, but we're getting here towards the end of the month, so I'm not super worried about it being too bulky, and I kind of like the bulk, in all honesty. So adding a few of the stickers, you can see I'm having trouble deciding where that last little heart is going to go, but my page is getting pretty close here. This month, I've really been challenging myself to use my supplies, to reach for them and use them. So here I have the ephemera pieces that I have left with this kit, and I'm kind of auditioning those in different places, bringing some more green into the page because I noticed it really, that kind of spring green, the grass green, was really only in the plaid paper, and I wanted to bring it in a couple more places. So I will tuck this camera behind the puffy sticker and then add this little green heart. And I really like how the right side is coming together, but I feel like the left side needs a little bit more. And so I find a label. First I try that seafoam one, but it's pretty small, so I switch it out for one that is in black and white, bringing over a little bit more black to that side of the page. And then I will add a big bold black word over there that will also balance out that blocky black stamping that's on the top right. So it's all about just finding that balance and what is pleasing to your eye and what you like to see in your project. And that's actually it for this page. I'll add some journaling to that tag and call this one done. All the supplies I use will be linked down below, and there's also a link to sign up for my email newsletter that goes out every couple weeks with some crafty talk and organization tips, so check that out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as that bell notification button. I hope you have an awesome day, and as always, keep it creative.